Sunday every week now. I'll probably throw up a couple streams on the other one. I was gonna do the Ice Yeti versus Funzo, but Halfcast is doing that one, so...
Yeah.
I should probably put that I'm casting this, even though I get like one viewer.
It's nice to if people want to see the VOD or whatnot.
Or if you want to do what you're doing.
Check in on different games and see what's happening. Yeah. Who do you think's gonna win this one?
Not sure.
I hope Dark wins it.
Why am I dropping like 5? Oh, it's because I'm still... Whoops, that's not good. Well... Probably help if I turn my VPN off.
Doing illicit things with your VPN off? Wow.
Alright, there we go. Now I'm 720p at 48 frames per second? That doesn't sound right.
48 FPS, what all the people want to see.
This is Dark versus Eli parentheses glotch. With tint.
It's not even here?
No. Okay, now I should be live 2 minutes from now, so...
Nice.
Everything is as smooth as it needs to be.
Ooh, they gave him the Sand King.
Oh, I thought for a second Milliard got Sand King. I was like, what the heck?
No, they got Grim Sand King, which is a pretty strong lane. Pretty easy to execute too, I think, so... I think that's definitely.
Wait, why didn't they pick Sand King at 9? This clock was a 4th pick, right? No, yeah, this clock was a 4th pick. No, this clock was a 3rd pick. That's what I'm saying. This clock was a 3rd pick. Why didn't they just pick Sand King?
I don't know.
That's super weird.
I know Muggsy's comfortable with it if he's playing offlane for them.
I mean, it's his best hero. I mean, he has other good heroes, but I'm just saying Sand King, he just owns on. Like, he doesn't care about Sand King into pretty much anything. Oh, this Dire team really likes their 2nd pick, so...
They're probably trying to get a favorable matchup for mid lane.
I mean, they're trying to get Eli just a 22 pick because he has a bunch of, not necessarily cheese heroes. Like, you can't really call them cheese if they're his best heroes and his main heroes. Then they're just his heroes, I guess.
They're 22 pick heroes, though.
Oh, yeah.
Meepo and Brood are already banned, though, so I think that cuts down on it significantly.
I mean, and Lone Druid. He's a decent Lone Druid picker as well. They get the Centaur without seeing an enemy carry, so...
I think that's usually, like, safe. Centaur doesn't really care about a lot of matchups compared to some other offlaners.
They already banned the pit, so...
Snapfire this late, I actually didn't even notice that it was unbanned or unpicked this far.
Riki pickers.
That is... I don't know. I feel like their team comps, they don't have much synergy right now on Snap Traps.
Milliard actually really likes Sand King and Riki, he told me, because I was trying to discuss like which offlaners do well, because I know playing offlane into Riki is very difficult sometimes. The hero has amazing level 1 stats and amazing spells. I mean, this is just a safe lane oriented patch in general, but it's just heroes like Riki can get really out of hand. Because you know what Jug's gonna do, you know what these other heroes are gonna do, But Riki, he's just gonna fly over the map pretty much once he has that Blink Strike talent, especially.
Yeah, he's able to just keep fighting and snowball.
You just can't ever really kill him, especially in a league like RD2L where you might have these 3k supports that don't always have the detection immediately ready.
Hmm.
So even if you have one core with detection ready, he just blinks 500 units away or something dumb. Or plus 500, I should say, because...
But yeah, I feel like their heroes don't synergize super well together.
I feel like
Clock and Centaur is not like
Bloodseeker is
the
super good
strongest
here for
lane.
Radiant. It's not
Yeah,
that good
it's
against
decent.
Clockwork, but...
I feel like they could just pick like
I think
safe
Centaur
meta
Riki
hero
is
like Wraith
good.
King or something.
I mean, Wraith King, Razor maybe, but... Well, they go
Oh,
with the
Bloodseeker, you
Bloodseeker.
called it.
I just really like it against the Riki hero and maybe the Centaur hero as well, just depending. I know it's not a good lane for Bloodseeker, but it's okay with Sand King. I'd rather have like a hero like Zeus with Bloodseeker. That's one of the combos that I'm a super big fan of in RD2L because you just press buttons and win a fight. Like Zeus presses his ult and suddenly everyone's just down to where Bloodseeker just has free movement speed at the very start of the fight. Because anytime you can make team fights super easy in RD2L, it's always nice.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Quap banned out.
Yeah. Looks like they didn't target ban him very hard this game.
I mean,
Too hard to do that, I think.
yeah, I mean it's dark. He's just gonna play whatever, but you're gonna at least get Quap out of the pool, especially if he's setting up for a 22 pick that Quap is very good against.
The Huskar ban to top it off.
Pangolier.
Pango.
Is this? This has gotta. I don't like Pango into Riki
I
or
didn't think
Clock.
Pango was very good into Riki or Clock.
Even
But
Jakiro, it's 2.5 seconds stun.
we'll see. He'll make it work.
That has to be like a puck game, right?
I don't know if you will worry about the Pango with your last pick mid here. I think you need something to like.
Or you could go like Monkey. I think Monkey's pretty good.
Monkey's decent, yeah.
And you can't like escape the Bloodseeker with him, but
He commits to fights and
I don't
wins or
know.
loses.
If you're Eli, you either have to go like, hey, I'm going to fight into Dark, or I'm going to draw even with Dark and let my side lanes win.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what a lot of teams do, because I mean this Dark team is very like their offlaners like Divine 1 and Space Dude is always mega value, but their team is more or less Dark in terms of direction.
Yeah, he does a good job calling their like engagements, I think.
Well, he pretty much is the engagements, and everyone's behind him. Which, I
Yeah,
mean, it
played
works.
against the Sand King in our series, and he played it really well. So.
Oh yeah, you
hopefully
played
we'll see
against
some
this
good
Dark
plays.
team.
Yep. Took the big L.
Feels bad, man. They go with the Ember, so they're choosing not to necessarily directly counter him, but still have those chains. I don't really like Sand King into Grimstroke Sand King, or Ember into Grimstroke Sand King, but
Yeah, I think if the Radiant team starts fights, they have a really good time of it because they have a lot of things to keep going in.
literally
A lot
neither
of
of these
stun,
teams can
a lot of
hit
combo.
towers except Centaur Retaliate and Jakiro Liquid Fire. So this might be a 25-minute game or it might be a 55-minute game.
Do you have a favorite after the draft here?
I mean, I like Radiant's draft better, but I think Dire's a... Well, I don't know, because Dire has two stand-ins. Like, I think Dire on paper has a little bit better of a team just because Eli is was a super sandbag type player, but at the same time, it's Eli on a hero that isn't any of his big heroes, which means he probably goes down from like a 5.5k player to a 5k flat player. I mean, I like Radiant's draft more just because, I mean, I'm a big fan of 3 of these Radiant heroes.
It's always fun watching Pangos play. Makes team fights exciting.
And I also hate the Riki hero, so I want that hero to just die.
Played it for the first time a couple days ago. Not like the first time, but the first time in like its current form, and it feels really strong.
I don't know why he gets 2 Blink Strike charges at level 1 like immediately.
Yeah.
That's like some heroes their level 1 ult isn't that good.
It's like nice if you have like a slight advantage, I find. But I feel like if you're like a disadvantage in the lane, it's hard to get like use out of them.
Oh yeah,
Like,
but I
if
mean,
you're not running heroes down and killing them, you're kind of like, well, I got 2 spells that don't do too much.
even worst case scenario, you can always use them to position better.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna spam your smoke cloud early, and you're probably not gonna spam your E unless you're like trying to get last hits. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, the lane's probably just going to be pushed into his tower all game anyways. Or all laning, I should say.
The Sand King lanes. Love them. Yeah, I actually don't mind laning against Sand Kings as pos 1, because you're like, well, I just get to last hit on her tower the whole time. But
yeah. I mean, whenever I play Sand King especially, I always yell at my pos 4 to pull every wave that he can into the side camp.
yeah.
But if this Dire team is smart, they might actually try to block that camp. Because there's really nothing else you can do in the off lane when you're Sand King if that camp isn't available. Like, you're pushing it into the tower and the safe lane is just getting free farm and you can't do anything about it. But if you have that side pull available, it's a lot easier to just try to limit the safe laner's creeps. Oh, that's one thing that, even going back to last season, I didn't see that much that should probably happen. Is just a lot of offlaners, I feel like, are going to abuse that side pull a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just shut that down, there really isn't a counterplay to it.
It's like top lane didn't bring out any blue wards yet.
I'm not a fan of Jakiro's 6 mangoes, but anyways, on your Radiant team we have Space Dude himself on the Bloodseeker. We have 2-time champion Dark on the mid Pangolier. Have You Should Be on the Sand King. Starting with the Gauntlet, interesting. Maybe would have liked to see a Ring of Protection. We have Sebastian on the Grimstroke with the headdress. And we have Al Capone getting run down quite a lot on the bottom lane on the Snapfire, with also a headdress. On your Dire team, we have Java on the safe lane Riki, Milliard on the Centaur, very nice starting build. Have Vuvu on the Clockwork, pause 4, Boots Rush. Eli Dota on the Ember Spirit, and Blackout. Not the band Blackout, the other Blackout on the Jakiro.
Riki got the
Did they not?
bounty off of Dark.
The
closer one.
Did they not? Who did he outclick on it? The Sand King or the Grim?
No, the Riki went for the deep one.
Oh, the Riki
Dark
went
was
for the
contested.
deep one?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, going for that deep one is pretty worth, I think, unless you're at risk of not getting the other one. Because, like, if you go for it and you don't get, like, the one in the river, then there's really no point, but If you can get both, it's really good. Eli got a super early level 2 and was able to put some pressure on with the chains, but... See a sentry coming out for Dark in the middle lane.
Guess he spotted a ward going down.
I mean, it's on Eli's high ground, so it might be hard to get for a while. Because you can't quelling it anymore, right?
The good old days are over. You should be started out with Caustic Finale level 1. I like this. I like the new Caustic, so I think this is a good move.
I think it just depends on what your level 1 priorities are. Because, I mean, if
he's
you...
getting run at.
Yeah, he's pretty dead on...
He's dead.
Grimstroke tried to get the D ward, which he did, but...
They hit level 2 and just ran at the Sand King, who was still level 1.
Oh, bottom lane kill as well, bringing down the Clockwork. Out of position.
I think it's a pretty strong lane. The Snapfire Bloodseeker lets them set up easy for the...
I mean, he has... he has boots though, so it definitely shouldn't be a kill there. Anyways, Eli Dota with some very Z in the chat. Going back to Sand King, I feel like just your level 1 spell should depend on what you're trying to do. Level 1 E is solid, but I think considering they got 1 rune, maybe getting just the Sandstorm to fight for that might have been better. I mean, even if it's 20 seconds duration, you can return kill bottom.
They just ran at the Snapfire with battery. The Snap didn't have enough mana to get her
I'm gonna close a
off.
couple programs. I'm dropping a couple frames. Probably don't need Firefox open.
Dark does get the ward.
I mean, eventually most Pango lanes, they'll always be able to push out. I mean, playing with a Pango spammer like Sev, he probably really doesn't fear too many lanes. It's just after the lane, but he's getting gone on mid. Looks like both players will just back up a bit for that, but that's super good for Bloodseeker. Having that increased move speed and attack speed with the Thirst.
Yeah, lots of regen on the Ember coming out.
I'm a super big fan of Bloodseeker and RD2L. Just because you're going to have these 3-4k players just sit in lanes at half health for half the laning phase. And not bring out regen. So anytime that happens, Bloodseeker is just going to have a free time. Like I remember in the semifinals, I was laning against Whole City, who was on Axe, and I was Centaur, and he would just sit in the lane at half health the entire laning phase. And so my Bloodseeker just had a free lane at that point.
Last hit was looking pretty even across the board.
I mean, Riki's not getting that much at all, but...
Yeah, in the mid lane,
I feel like the Shakiro is kind of getting bopped too.
And Pango flew out a bottle and got the 4-minute illusion rune top.
I wonder what build Dark's gonna go for if he tries to go for like the early Javelin or if he just goes like the double Wraithband into Treads. Alright, Milliard has his Ring of Health. Very cool.
Eli getting really low mid. But
yeah, has the salve. He's flying out his boots on the courier. Full wand coming out for the someone? Does Jakiro have 2 branches? I mean...
Jakiro.
Oh, Riki ate a branch. That's what he did.
He's missing a branch.
So now he has 150 gold just in his backpack for the wand. I don't know, I'm not too big of a fan of getting the full wand this early on Riki. Like, I understand they do spam out quite a lot, but you're not laning against a PA or Bristle or something. Like, Sand King still has a little bit of cooldown on his spells. And sometimes for Grimstroke, you're not even in vision when you cast it. So he doesn't even get the charge.
Yeah, I don't think the full wand.
Battle going on bottom. Bloodseeker getting pretty low, does get cookied up. and had the wand, but
Yeah, they're forced to
Snapfire
run away
does
from
go
the
down.
invasion. And the centaur just smacks them to death.
Yeah, Centaur with 11 stacks of Retaliate really added up there.
Oh, in mid, roll coming out on the... And he's dead. The Grim rotated mid and used the Phantom's Embrace at a really good time, and it stopped him from getting out.
Yeah, if I was this Radiant team, I would just mute Eli. I hate when people all chat in RD2L. Even if it's
Doesn't
like
even
dumb
matter what
stuff
it
like
is.
well played or wow, you're so good. Like, dude, I'm trying to beat you. I don't care what you have to say. Like, if people like
Snap's going down bot again.
people all chat during a pause, it's a bit different, but
Oh, maybe not going down? Yeah, it looks like they didn't run the kill down. This is a
Space-
fast Bloodseeker right now.
Space Dude is wondering what he's trying to do, but
And they're turning this maybe?
No,
'Cause the
these
Snap
two-
doesn't have enough mana for spells.
they might kill the Snapfire. And
Yeah,
meanwhile,
let's-
Dark solo kills Eli. Eli not level 6, or Eli was level 6, but they did run down the Snapfire in the bottom lane. Dark going
He's
on
going
the
for another one under
Jakiro.
tower. This is
No, he's not. He's. Yeah,
dying
that's
for that
not.
one.
I mean, I'd say that's not worth it, but it could be worth it.
Yeah, you get to go back.
If he bought
Refill
out,
your
it's
bottle.
definitely worth it, but if he didn't, maybe not as much, but... Yeah, I would definitely mute Eli if I was Radiant. Like, the dude just talking about random stuff during the middle of the game.
Cares though. Yeah.
I mean, I don't care that I'm spectating, but if I was playing, I would probably care a bit more.
Oh, Dark came bottom, and the Centaur comes out. Gets the kill bot. Very nice. Looks like Ember's
It's
rotating
a 4-man
little bit too,
rotation
so-
for it, so... Meanwhile, in the top lane, they kill the Sand King. He dies behind the
Yes.
tower, maybe trying to creep cut.
He was trying to cut, I think.
Very interesting skill build from the Sand King. Has 2/2/2.
I'm pretty sure that ward is envisioned too. In the mid lane.
Yeah, it's barely envisioned.
It's 2 with 1 ward. Yikes. In the bot lane, they're
They
Trying to
didn't.
run
He
down
didn't
the
cogs them
Bloodseeker?
in. They'd have to dive really far,
They're
and they're
diving.
going to. But
yeah. I think it's a pretty free dive here.
yeah, I mean, neither support can really do anything against Centaur at this part of the game.
Centaur, strong laner. And this
I mean-
clock's playing very well.
There's supports that do well against it, but I don't think either of these supports are some of them. I mean, they do get the kill on the Clockwork with just the 2 supports, but
Ricky's starting to pull ahead a little bit in the top lane with the Grim leaving lane.
Centaur's
It's harder.
dead now. Dove a little bit too far under the tower into the 3 heroes. Now 4 with Sand King rotating. Misses the Burrow Strike though, so Eli will get out of here. Just has the... Or he might die if he keeps going too aggressively, but he should be fine. Yeah. He has the Remnant out. But might look to try to kill this.
Grim buys back.
I mean, he probably thought they were still trying to fight, but nothing to be gained from that. I mean, it's really just 4v4 bottom with... Or now Pango's joining, so... Nice double Burrow Strike and...
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
I miss. Does come at the cost of Riki getting a little bit more farm top. What's Riki? Yeah, there we go. Ricky has the treads up, so is looking forward to the defusal after that. For a second, I thought Ricky's dust was phase boots. I was like, wait a second here.
That's the big brain play. Ricky's carrying dust.
Do you like this Ricky skill build? Do you feel like more points and tricks would be better to farm?
This is what like a lot of the different guides say to do. I'm not exactly sure why, but I think it's just because Blink Strike it reduces the charges and gives more cast range to it. I'm surprised there's not a point in Smokescreen though, just because of the nature of the enemy heroes that they're against. Diving in really deep here, and might pay.
Oh, he's dead, but they get oh. I say that, and Grimstroke now has to hit.
Oh. And the Ricky's getting out. That's insane.
That's...
Holy shit.
Whoa.
Oh. Uh-oh. Pretty sure yeah, they can see off the Bloodseekers, so...
Yeah. I mean, it still comes at the cost of the bottom tower.
Yeah, right now the Dire's a lot active in all 3 lanes, while the Radiant are much more focused on keeping their heroes in 1 or 2 lanes, so...
I'm not too big of a fan of this Snapfire giving up on Bloodseeker bottom. Oh, Clockwork hits a target. Maybe not the one he was going for, but...
Grim's going to die. Centaur comes down, they're trying to run for more.
Should get the Sand King off this if they have detection, which they do. I mean, he does burrow through though, so maybe not.
Dark's in now
in an
too.
awkward position.
Rolling Thunder yet.
Sand King's still getting chased down, doesn't have anything.
The ult on the clock. This fight is really broken up too.
I mean, they're just fighting before Sand King has his item, which I'm guessing would be a blink. He's saving up this amount of gold. It's either a blink or a radiance. Target.
Oh, the weird bounces. He's rolling for it.
He's gonna die to it though.
He's gonna die for this, I think.
Yeah.
Unless...
Oh, yeah, he's dead. He's dead. He doesn't have anything.
Yeah. Got
a bit unfortunate.
Weirdly bounced off that cliff and missed the rollback and then committed for it.
I mean, Dire can just fight with low cooldowns, whereas Radiant has the Rupture cooldown and they have the Whirling Thunder cooldown. I mean, the Sand King Blink should help out a lot, but at the same time, it's a 14-minute Blink rush. Like, there's a full pipe on the Centaur, plus 1,000 gold already, so any sort of fights are going to be very hard for this Radiant team to win, unless they get, like, a really good double Rupture play or something. It's like, even if they get a good Epicenter, if it only hits, like, the Sand King plus the Ember Spirit with Flame Guard, it's not going to kill anyone. They smoked up without the Sand King Blink, though.
Sand King's Blink's flying out. This could be a big fight if Sand King gets his stuff off.
They waited too long.
He's in on 3, but they're just not taking enough damage.
They didn't wait for Sand King on that play. He wasn't smoked.
Yeah,
everyone's trying to fight up here, and Sand King is just way behind here.
Centaur got first item pipe too, which is really big.
Yeah, they can't win a fight unless they get like the double Rupture play, or once Dark has this defusal, if he hits a couple good swashbuckles and then suddenly Centaur or Riki just don't have mana. I mean, Milliard's just going off this game. He's 7-1-5. Just unkillable at this point. Has the full Vanguard now, too.
Falling out. Yeah, he didn't need to get blink early because the clock has been setting up all the fights.
There's Clock, there's Riki, there's Ember that can all pretty much just jump in.
Clock's in deep under mid.
At least this Shakiro has going Ice Path max second. Well, they rupture him, but they don't have the instant catch after that.
He's TPing out.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you have to do against this Bloodseeker type of draft where you just... You don't let Bloodseeker get anything.
Centaur's just running down towers one by one.
Now, this is also the whole thing about... Like, you can... I think you can pick dual 5s in RD2L and it's fine, but... It's hard to pick dual 5s when the other team has this hero like a Clockwork. They do find Centaur, but they don't have the second jump.
So he just TPs out.
I think Snapfire and Grim are both pause 5s right now. Like, Grim may be more of a pause 4, but... Even then...
Where he's going in on bot.
Yeah, that's the defusal. It's a dead Grimstroke. Unless it hits creeps 50 times, but...
His whole team was nearby as well.
Yeah, this Clockwork's pretty much just... been bait the whole game, but it doesn't matter because he's playing Clockwork.
Oh, and a really good clock ult. Catching the SK.
Yeah, he gets the Crystallis
Tango's
crit
rolling
on the
in,
Sand
but-
King as well. Yeah, playing Sand King into Clock feels a bit rough, but maybe that's why they tried to. Maybe that's why they first phased it.
They knew what they were doing more than we did, I guess.
I mean, they still have good high ground defense with Sand King plus Grimstroke, even Snapfire, and then Bloodseeker throwing his Blood Right. But if it gets to that point this early, I don't know. Like, Riki might just kill Grimstroke again bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just alone under this tower.
I mean, he can't be there, pretty much. It gets really rough against this Riki hero. Like, they have a couple sentries, but it's just really difficult because Grimstroke doesn't have that immediate disengage spell. Riki going on Bloodseeker right now, and they mistime
Dodging
both their
everything.
stuns, and then Milliard
Oh my god, they're all dead.
doesn't even need the blink to get in there.
He just runs real quick with Stampede. This game is looking very difficult to come back from. It's not even really safe for Pango to spam out the waves because he could just get caught.
Yeah, they have the net too.
Oh, a really big... They're all so low.
Oh, he
Oh.
gets them.
The one hit of Mortimer Kiss.
They're gonna get Riki too. It's
The Riki
really
too.
big.
This is pretty good for them, to be honest.
I mean, the kills went on Snapfire and Grimstroke, but
It's better than getting run down and losing all their things. Yeah, Centaur just has Pipe and Crimson, so it's gonna be so hard for them to kill this team.
yeah, Pipe Crimson before 20 minutes. Pretty good.
I think if the Radiant team can take an engagement on their own terms instead of being jumped on by the clock, they have a better chance, but it's looking really hard for them to do that this game because there's no good targets to start fights on.
Maybe we'll be in time to catch the Jimmy versus whoever they're against. This series isn't long.
Ooh, clock goes in on Pango, but the Sand King does a really good counter stun.
I mean, Radiant's trying to force this fight, and they get
They're looking for the Ricky, but
they get
they
the
get
Ember.
the Ember too.
Yeah, they caught him with
I
the
had vision for this
Grimstroke.
Ricky, he might have died too.
I mean, good
Yeah,
fight.
they took
I don't know why Dyer just didn't disengage after Clock was in the middle of 5. Because, I mean, you can take that fight as Dyer, but you don't have to take that fight, whereas
oh,
Radiant
Sand King
has
jumps
to
in
take
deep,
it.
and they get another kill.
Like, yeah, I don't know why this Shakiro is just trying to def this tower. Like, it's a mid-tier 1 at 22 minutes.
Sand King, or Centaur's taking bot tier 2 though.
I mean, it's good space, but just those are the type of kills that can get, like, a Pango just a little bit closer to his next item, or a Bloodseeker a little bit closer to his. I think Bloodseeker really needs a BKB, though, if they want to try to win this. I don't feel like this Mjolnir will be enough. I think he just dies too easily. Like, they get the hook on him, and he just... I mean, he...
The stun? Oh, he might be able to just
Good
run
play
out.
from Sand King,
So low
but
right now they need to leave.
Sriki's just cleaning up these supports, and... Ember Spirit's nearly killed Pango, doesn't have another Spirit.
Pango's rolling
But
out.
Sand King down.
And it's the same thing
And
as the
snap
last
down.
fight, but in reverse. They just start losing people one by one, and they're not in the right position to fight.
Yeah, like, it's so much easier for this Dire team just to fight. Like, this Grimstroke just dies immediately. And I don't think they can go high ground, but they do glyph.
The aggressive glyph. And diving deep for the Pango. And he can just trick the trade and blink strike on out of
When
there.
did Radiant use their glyph?
I do not remember.
Oh, they used it 4 minutes ago apparently, but I don't know. I feel like even though
Jumping on the Jakiro again? I don't
that's
think
not
this
the
is
place you want to
target
go
that we
for.
start fights.
Yeah, it's even Jakiro is super tanky at this point in the game, even with especially with the pipe on the Centaur. Like before that, Dyer was just gonna back up. Now they might try to, or they're still gonna back up, but they thought about it. Just because, like, Radiant has to try to fight. Dyer's perfectly fine with just picking people off for the next 10 minutes.
Got the Manta style on the Ricky. I think this is a good next item for him because he doesn't want to be getting silenced.
And it gives a lot of agi too.
Just a really quick Roche here too. They know, but it looks like they're not trying to go contest it. Oh, they smoked up late.
It's just hard to. Like, you're pretty much asking your Sand King at this point, hey, you're gonna die no matter what happens, so better make it a good one.
Sand King, they go deep for the Sand King.
They don't get the chains on him, but it might not matter.
Oh, a big Pango roll. Oh, bouncing weirdly off the clock stuff.
Well, they get
And
the Ember, they get
lot of that.
3. They're gonna get the Aegis too.
Oh no, Bloodseeker's getting real low.
Well, they don't get the Aegis. They see the Riki though, but he's gonna do. Let's see, you're trying to heal off creeps.
Oh, and the silence. Looks like he's just gonna get out though, or turn on Pango. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Pango's dead.
Pango just dies.
Well, Grimstroke kind of just left the fight.
Yeah, and Bloodseeker ended up taking to Jakiro Fire Breath.
Not sure if Grim needed to back there, especially when he might have had Force Staff up, but... I mean, it's just an awkward engagement. I mean, I guess Dire's getting a little bit antsy, but... They did have Aegis, so... Ember going BKB after his Crystallis Deso. Okay, Radiant has their own pipe. Sand King getting a lot of damage done to him. Just absolutely destroyed by Riki. Like 7 armor hero just getting beat down by this level 20 Riki at that point. Now 22. Alright,
They're all chatting. Oh my god.
Alright, let's get some admins in here. Oh, this is why I try to mute everyone in RD2L before the game. Like, there's really nothing that the enemy can say that will make me think otherwise. Even if they pause, I'll just ask my team, hey, why did they pause? Because I don't get easily tilted by that, but it's just I don't want to see it. Because even if, like, you subconsciously think about it, it can affect you. Because I mean, most people aren't going to be like that and be like that type of arrogant player, but because I mean, you're not like BM all chatting, so it really can't be like, oh, admins, get someone on this guy, but at the same time, oh, I'd just rather not see it personally.
I agree with that sentiment. Yeah, it's getting hard for the Radiant to get out of base. They run out together, but...
I mean, Grim has a force now, but just isn't doing a ton in terms of if he gets caught by multiple things. It's one thing too, if Riki gets a nullifier, that force staff's not going to do anything. Because it'll just purge it off.
It looks like the Dire content sitting outside their base, just pushing in waves.
I mean, they could just wait next to Roche. There's really nothing on Radiant that they can pick up that'll severely impact the fight, except maybe like Bloodseeker, BKB. Even Penguags at this point probably isn't gonna crush team fights. Like, if they do enough damage to where Bloodseeker, BKB can clean it up, then that's one thing, but...
Centaur's just hitting this top tower like all by himself, and they can't stop it from happening.
I mean, he's getting a... I don't know if...
Oh, yeah, he's getting got on now. He's pretty alone.
I mean, Riki's here, and they can kind of rotate, but at the same time, like, Ember is bottom.
Centaur dies. It's a DD Riki, though. That's going to be...
I mean, he's going to get...
very painful.
Oh, he didn't get silenced.
Oh, he got stunned?
He's still going down, but...
off, and he dies.
Ember chasing
Ember's
this...
still indeed.
Bloodseeker isn't going to get him.
Bloodseeker who gets out.
Has to have 10-second BKB just to escape. Meanwhile, 4 heroes on the Dire go down.
And
a bit of a weird snapfire.
On his supports.
But... yeah, it's...
That was a big swing back towards the Radiant.
Only 3k gold, but that's 11k XP on Radiant. Like, Pengo and Sand King both gained quite a bit of levels. Pengo has his Zags now. Sand King has a little bit of gold past his buyback.
I think that was just them getting antsy with standing outside their base and wanting to get something done.
Oh yeah, I mean... Centaur was like up here, Riki was right here, Ember was right here, but then Centaur went all the way up here. You can see my drawings on the map, right?
Yep.
Alright, good. I'm not crazy. Yeah, they should have just waited for Roche, honestly, on the Dire.
So they're gonna wait that long. Might as well just do it proper, wait for the Roche.
I mean, even then, they don't necessarily even have to wait for the Roche, but they have to, like, sit heroes behind the Centaur. Because, like, if there's 4 heroes behind the Centaur, Radiant can't really kill him. It's like the only way they were able to kill Centaur even then was because they did a lot of damage to him, and then the Soul Bind to the Clockwork did a lot. Like, Centaur was all the way, like, on the side of the tower when it happened, too.
They're smoking in a bot right now.
Yeah, Sand King's
flanking out. Very nice.
Yeah, he had to have been thinking that. Riki has a full BKB now.
Yeah, he had it last fight. He just got stunned by the Grim and didn't get it off.
Centaur has Lotus Blink, Ember Spirit. Used his 10-second BKB last fight. And Bloodseeker has his BKB now. No buyback, but...
He's just going in BKB and they're jumping on the Bloodseeker here.
And Bloodseeker uses his... Is going to get out for now, but...
Ember's running after him too.
Oh, Clock's dying, but... Riki's getting really low after his BKB, but...
Big Centaur stomp. They're probably just gonna be able to clean up those 2 kills.
At least the support. So Riki's getting really low.
Oh, barely survives.
Yeah, everything on cooldown for... Oh, he's gonna take... No, he's not. Didn't last nearly enough, but...
So close. They probably can't see this Riki right now too with the Bloodseeker gun.
Yeah. I don't think... They can't take melee here, but... The Sand King needs to be focused on the Jakiro. Like, they might be able to see the Riki, because is that their sentry? Or is that Dire's? That just died. Sentry just died right outside of the logo in the middle lane, but they get the Riki with the Scatter Blast.
To tier 4s before they get the melees. Looks like they're gonna finish the melee here, but
yeah, they BKB Ember for it,
pretty
but
costly.
They get Centaur, that's even better. Clock hooks in, just
to help the Centaur get out.
Bloodseeker does still have 9-second BKB. Does choose to use it
now. The Centaur is taking forever to kill.
Yeah, I mean, everyone on Radiant's just half health or lower. It's really hard for them to engage into this Ember Spirit, who can just chunk them down. Sand King's trying, but even then, gets pushed back by 2 cogs, and it's already in a bad position.
They finally get the racks down mid. Costly price of Riki, I guess. But I think the rest of the cores, like all 3 cores on the Dire, are so big right now that it's not even like the worst thing that their pause 1 is dying, because their Centaur's been chopping the gold charts the whole game.
I mean, Radiant's just having damage issues at this point. Like, they have the survivability with the BKB.
They're smoking out right now. This is a really good play. Unfortunately, they're circling the area of the map where there currently is no one.
Yeah, they can't really roach that fast either.
Looks like they're gonna find no one here, unfortunately.
Both Dire cores just pop BKB, and Radiant can't really do anything after that. Like, their physical damage is really limited to just, like, Bloodseeker, right-clicking, and then... like, Pango Swashbuckle. I thought Dire would have more issues pushing, but they do have the Deso Ember plus the Retaliate. They're going to get second Roche, so... probably just go up another lane. Centaur BKB now as well. That's just triple BKB.
Oh my. This is a big centaur.
I mean, Radiant does have 3 buybacks but on their cores, but
it's gonna be a strenuous defense from the Radiant here. I think if the Dire team just run together down one lane, they'll do fine. If they spread out and try to do cheeky shit, there's a chance it goes wrong.
I think honestly you give the cheese to Centaur instead of Ember Spirit. Just because it takes so long to kill this Centaur that they pretty much can't lose a fight. Like, worst case scenario, Ember Spirit, if he gets blown up 100 to 0, he can have a Spirit to just buy back to. I don't know, I think Centaur, especially with this level 20 talent and BKB, they can't kill him before he can get cheese off in any fight. And if they pretty much can't even kill him in a normal fight, so I just think this Ember cheese is just a bit unnecessary, but I don't think it'll matter in the long run.
Ember just bought out Octarine, like right now. I'm not sure if that's my favorite item, considering he has the Dezo and Chrysalis, but
I mean, I think he's just not necessarily trying out things, but it's kind of
experimenting a little bit. Yeah, I think it would have been better just to see some more commitment to the idea that he's going to be attacking things. Usually, I think of Octarine as like the magic damage side. This clock is in real deep. They cookie out,
big
but
ice pad.
Pango right now.
Yeah, Pango dead, has to buy back. Sand King dead. Probably, yeah, has to buy back as well. They do get a nice leash. The clock should be going down. But Bloodseeker trying to fight a Centaur, not going to go well. They do get the Ember Spirit.
That Ember just melts.
Very nice epi on that, and they're kind of cleaning up the fight. Bit of an awkward BKB usage, but yeah, Riki with the level 20 talent does have the plus 600 range. So overall, about an even gold, but Dire does lose the Aegis.
Oh, and they're going back on this Bloodseeker, who is saved? Question mark?
I mean, Riki has 2 charges up.
Yeah, this Riki is dangerous. He almost just picked off a core. Just hanging out, doing his thing. But that was another, I think, odd fight.
Oh, I forgot to change my Discord stream title. Whoops.
They dove in really deep on the clock when I think they could have just sat there and sieged the tower.
All right, I'm changing my stream title right now.
Nothing's happening anyways, so you're good to go.
What?
Nothing's happening anyways, so you're good.
Alright, it is changed. I'll change the VOD too, probably. I don't know why people don't upload their VODs more. Zanking going down top. Is he trying to get the outpost? 440? Probably.
Looks like it, yeah.
I don't know why people just don't like export their VODs. It's so easy. It's like, what if I want to watch a cast that happened 3 months ago?
Not allowed. Well, now they're running down top lane as 5. Which
Like, if you're not a Twitch partner, it's 2 weeks. Like, if you don't have... if you're not an affiliate, like, you literally have 2 weeks to export or else it's gone. Anyways, Snapfire has a Glimmer. Grimstroke has a Ghost Scepter, so... a little bit more in terms of...
This is going to be really hard defense for them. They're going to be down the Sand King for the whole fight.
Yeah, I mean, they get the double stun. I mean, they get the Pango out for now, but Everyone else is just crumbling in the background. And Pango's just dying through his ult nearly
Almost
to
died.
the Ember Spirit. They do get Clockwork, but
Bloodseeker just ran in and auto-tech clock down.
I think you're fine if you're Dire.
They get the ult off on Ricky.
Bloodseeker's just
like,
dead.
looks like this might be game. And GG is called.
Bit unfortunate fights by the Radiant, but just
I think
hard
the
when
lanes just went really well for Dire.
well, like they get this Sand King pick, but I don't know, Dire or Radiant. The only lane that they counter picked was the Bloodseeker into the Centaur, and I don't really feel like that's even that good for Bloodseeker.
Yeah. I don't think Bloodseeker was necessarily the pick there, just because it's not like, I don't think it's like super good against any of their cores. Both the Ember and the Ricky have ways to kind of be out of the fight without having to run away.
I think Bloodseeker's good against Riki in a vacuum, but it's just a weird matchup. Like you need someone else to just pump up the fight before Bloodseeker, and I don't really feel like Grim Snapfire supports do that at all. Should tell them to change the friggin' password.
Yeah, right now there's no one else in here, so it's okay, but yeah.
I mean, just in general. Anyways, gonna cut to a stream BRB and probably grab my Switch to play Animal Crossing.
Woot.
So, I'll be back in whenever the draft starts. Alright, I am back.
I too am back.
Did you see Amino team lost game 1?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Elk went off on Troll Warlord 760 GPM.
Nice.
Like the Amino team picked Weaver, Pugna, LC, Skyrath, and Snapfire, so not many stuns.
Yeah, not much good synergy either.
Compared to Troll, Void Spirit, Clockwork, Ogre, Oracle. Oh, there's literally like 10 games going on right now.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Well, they get the Milliard Sand King, so might be a really short series. Dire does get Grim Lich, which is fairly straightforward to execute, but sometimes you can't tell an RD2L. Alright, I am in Animal Crossing trying to catch some tarantulas. Let's go. On Druid Band, Jug Band. Fairly straightforward stuff.
I feel like they could just give the man Wraith King.
Which one? Either play or?
I think either one. It's a strong hero, and it's not banned. Either team could pick it up, I think.
I need all these freaking butterflies to not be here. Friggin' butterflies. I might just have to catch them and release them. Well, they go with the Mars. So, I mean, it's a lot of synergy to just dump into the Lich Grimstroke double ult, but oh, how do you like laning against Mars as a safe laner?
I don't mind it a lot of the times. A lot of the like current ones like don't really care. Wraith King, Spectre, Faceless. Like none of them really care about Mars. But I think he's strong enough that like you can't really push him out of lane. And he's like crazy active once he hits 6. You just run around killing.
I mean, so far, like, Dire can just use all their ults, and that should be enough to win a team fight. This Puck's probably a flex here if I had to guess. I don't think they're gonna definitely have it on mid, especially because it's an Eli team. So I'm not sure how much a Puck pick does in that aspect, but I don't know, I also don't like Puck because you kind of get caught by any of these Dire heroes.
I think it's kind of showing that it is, I don't know. I feel like it is showing that it's not necessarily a core.
I mean, they don't have pick 22, so having a more open-ended draft does help in that aspect, but trying to figure out why these stupid tarantulas aren't spawning on my island. There he is.
There he is. I think it's pretty strong this game. They have 3 big ults they want to kill someone in, and Wraith King will just come back after.
How do you like
Immediately
the
respond with Slark.
How do you like the Slark into Mars?
Yeah, it does alright, I think. I think it kind of comes down to who's comfortable. Like, Mars can definitely do quite fine in that lane, but if the Mars doesn't bring out enough regen and keep pressure on the Slark before 6, then the Slark can just get out of hand.
They ban out the Lycan. I wonder if they'll try to just ban out the Quap again. Maybe they try to ban out like an anti-puck hero if they want to try to throw that in the middle lane. I go with the Razor ban and the Visage, so another Eli hero. Trying to make this a quick game too.
I don't really like the Puck 4, but I see why they've done it. I've blamed the Wraith King against the Puck, and if you crit her, you take like 2/3 of her health. And you can't really pressure the Wraith King out of lane. With the Sand King, like, maybe they have a chance, but...
I mean,
I think,
hopefully
like,
this Wraith King starts with Armor of Protection, right? Just so he doesn't take a ton of damage from these Puck right clicks.
TA, ooh.
I mean, a lot of low armor heroes on Radiant. Like, TA is really the type of hero that Dark can just snowball with and just take over the game at that point. Oh, I like Dyer's draft a lot more than I did game 1.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
the
a huge fan of
heroes
Dyer.
game 1, but Grimlich 2 active supports, even though both are still probably more pause 5s, it's not the worst. Then obviously Wraith King, Mars, TA.
I think a lot of this game is hinging on the Disruptor and Sand King. I don't think the rest of the heroes can, like, make big moves.
I mean, it is Milliard Sand King, so expecting big things.
I think, like, he only has, like, one target this game, and that's TA, though. Or the supports.
I mean, it's hard playing Sand King into Mars, but
I think the big problem with Dark Team last game was their lanes struggled a bit. I think now they have the heroes that will make laning slightly easier. I think it's pretty hard to lose a lane with Lich in it and Wraith King in it.
I mean, even if Wraith King loses, he can just hit up the jungle, because Dark TA hopefully won't coincide with the same jungle timing. I mean, that is one thing that Wraith King and TA are pretty both jungle spamming heroes, but
I think if Eli has a really good game, he could snowball with Visage though.
well, yeah, if, like, say he gets early, like, an early medallion plus, I don't even know what Visages get, medallion Dom or something. Like, the
Yeah.
Sand King just gets, like, a super early Crimson almost
They're just
even.
running at this puck. Almost died.
Like, if he gets a super early Crimson on Sand King, then this TA Mars Wraith King aren't going to do anything.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have Java on the +1 Slark, Milliard on his signature Sand King, Eli Dota on the Visage, starting with the headdress level 1, have Vuvu on the Puck, getting right-clicked by the Lich. And we have the not banned Blackout on the Disruptor also getting low. Meanwhile, Puck going down to the Lich. Did jaunt to that orb. On the Dire, we have
just running at the Sand King.
Max smacking Milliard, saying, "This is my lane." Not going to be able to kill him, but getting a lot of harass on him. You should be on the Mars.
Not even letting them come to lane. Oh my goodness.
Starting with the Gauntlet again. I'm not a big fan of this Gauntlet start on strength offlaners. I feel like if you have 2 armor, you really need a Ring of Protection. Which, I don't like Wraith King not getting the ring either. I don't feel like Mango Branch does anything for you in this lane. Like, I know Mango gives you a little bit of regen, but I feel like the amount of harass you're going to take is a lot more than that. Because you're never going to use Wraithfire Blast for the Mango either.
Cancel the healing salve on Wraith King top.
I mean, it was Lich's salve, so he still has one, but... Anyways, we have Dark on the TA, going behind the tower, level 2. Have Sebastian on the Grimstroke yet again, and we have Al Capone on the Lich. I think this top lane's probably where the game's going to be decided. Just whether this Wraith King has a good game or not. I feel like bottom should probably just be a wash. And then middle is obviously super snowball, but it's 22 pick TA. I think top's just definitely the most volatile lane. Because mid should be Dire favored, and bottom should be pretty even. So if Wraith King can get a somewhat decent lane top against the Sand King, I feel like Dire pretty much has the game.
And Slark right now has a lot of regen, and the Mars isn't holding nearly as much. But
Slark also has an Oov, which is really nice.
With 6 mangoes again.
Slark Oov trying to chase.
It's already like under their tower, so I don't know where he's gonna be chasing them to.
I like Mars Oov too, because when you Oov God's Rebuke, they're really, really slow.
This Puck is just playing like behind the wave.
I think he's trying to double wave them, or trying to find couriers. He would have caught that courier, but not too sure.
You might catch them on the way out right now.
No, catch the Liches at least. Is he gonna catch both? Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no, he got both.
It's almost 500 gold swing. Or like 400. But even so, now Wraith King can't really ferry out anything. Like Lich has to die and then TP him his items if they want anything up here. Like Milliard already has his Ring of Health, so he's already fine for it. I mean, Wraith King still has good last hits, but
it's gonna get harder now that his regens run out.
I don't know if going Wraithfire Blast level 2 is the play either.
I don't think you really need it anymore.
Like, I mean, they're gonna do a lot of damage to the Sand King, but he wasn't far enough under. And now Wraith King's like missing a lot of these last hits trying to chase the Sand King. I mean, I think that's just like a support player playing carry in some ways. Like Space Dude is a really big support player, so he's not like, he's always gonna be like super aggressive, which sometimes as a carry, you don't need to be, or you really shouldn't be.
TA, lots of last hits. Saiyan King second most.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna look at this middle lane, honestly. It's just 22 pick TA. Bottom lane might be a lot closer, but I think bottom should just be a wash. Mars needs a little bit of armor, though. Like, if he's just gonna wait for the full phase boots to get more than this 3 armor, then I don't know. It was super weird. He was level 3 on the Mars, and the tooltip said 2 armor, but I went over it and it said 3.0. I'm not sure why Valve rounds 3.0 to 2, but haha, XD, Valve can't count to 3.
The Grim's TPing top because they're under tower, diving for the Wraith King.
They're not gonna get him, so... Oh, I say that, and... Yeah, it's...
And he survives.
Pretty solid. I mean, the wave's under the tower bottom, too, so that's always nice. As an offlaner, it's a lot of XP. Compared to if your 4 leaves you and the wave's, like, right in the middle to where you can't even lane.
And
yeah.
Visage birds are out now, so hero is actually a hero now.
Yeah, I mean, the trade-off is Dark having 51 last hits, but... I mean, anything is something if you're Visage here.
He's going for the birds, I think.
He's gonna get at least 1.
Oh, he got both of them. That's big. That's 80 seconds.
Well, the tower got 1, but...
He's going for
still
the...
counts.
Oh, I thought he was going to go for that.
Oh, Eli with his chatting yet again.
There's a chance Wraith King dies to these neutrals?
They hit him once, yeah.
Yep. Unfortunate.
Yeah, that chicken does a lot of damage, as it turns out.
He has decided to retreat to jungle, but was not fully equipped for the task.
Chicken also has 7 armor, like, it's just a mess trying to right-click that. Because you have to hit it first.
Big chicken.
You have to hit it first, because the little ones have 5 armor with the aura. It's like whenever you do, like, a big stack on the big camp, you have to kill, like, the chickens, and you have to kill the... what's it called?
Ones that give HP regen?
Yeah, the satyrs.
But yeah, the Wraith King is just farming under tower, which is...
It's good for
I
him.
think better than jungling.
Do you like going
Which
the
kind of
3 points in Empiric Aura, or would you rather see like the
I think
0,
if he's trying
2,
to stay in
3?
lane, if he's trying to stay in lane, I would have liked to see the 0, 3, 2. But if he's trying to jungle, he should have just started putting more points into Mortal Strike.
So I know you have to get like 2 into Vampiric because it'll pretty much doubles everything.
Yeah. The Vampiric scales really nicely, and it gives him like an insane amount of sustain.
Zark getting silenced. Doesn't have pounce, or does have pounce.
Looks like he's gonna finish off this kill.
Yeah, it's... Dire pretty much overcommitting a little bit.
Oh.
Gets leashed and glimpsed. I don't know if he's
And
dead
he's
here
just gonna
though.
get run down.
No, I don't think he's dead. Oh, no, Disruptor has a mango. I don't feel like he needed to run, or I don't know, maybe he saw that, but meanwhile Dark killing Visage mid lane.
Oh, and they die for the Wraith King, and he just levels his ult.
Very cool.
And it looks like they're gonna run down this puck too.
I mean, that's a lot of... I mean, they're winning one lane really hard, and then they're sustaining the other 2 lanes, so this is definitely really good for Dire here. I mean, Visage is going to catch up, but At what point?
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. This TA has had a pretty free game.
Yeah, going on Sand King top again, he's gonna die. He got the crit. So level 1 stun really paying off there.
I do not like the 4 points in Vampiric Aura, but I think that just makes him even stronger in lane, so I don't think it's like super bad.
I mean, I think
the stun? Almost enough.
Vampiric Aura is just a good enough spell to where like you can max it and then literally not have to worry about pressing buttons.
Yeah. The trade-off is like laning presence versus and the Visage Birds are top.
They might kill this Wraith King.
They're gonna kill the Wraith King, I think.
It's not the best play on his part to try to go through there. Like, this Wraith King has 3 armor.
What the hell?
Plus 2 with the Iron Talon, but still. I don't know, I feel like if you go Wraith King, if you go Treads especially, you need the Buckler. Especially with the skeletons, it's very, very value.
I think this happened the last game as well, where they took top tower with the catapult wave.
Yeah, they just collapsed
doesn't
top.
Get the same treatment.
I mean, their middle tower goes down, and Mars gets... well, I'd say he gets free farm. He's TPing top. I don't really like this that much.
Oh, they're going for the kills?
That's not a good play on Mars. He doesn't have a team there. Like, they're coming, but... if Mars waits, like, 3 seconds longer, they get all those kills without losing anyone.
Those Lich bounces were good. Yeah, I think if the TA was there a little earlier, it would have gone better, but... I think all in all, the fact that the 2 cores got to clean up some of those kills, that's really good.
I mean, he already has Deso on TA.
Yeah,
Third way to blink, but...
fast.
I don't know, I just feel like if Mars waited a little bit longer, that's just... they get the kills without losing anyone, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really know if I like the Mars TP anyways. Like, I think they can clean up that with just the 4 heroes. I mean, Lich, Grim, plus just TA cleaning up. Wraith King throwing out 1 or 2 hits.
They're fighting bot on this Slark, who's pretty low right now.
He's gonna die. Well, yeah, he's dead.
This Mars is low, but might survive too. Oh, he dead. He dead.
He got hit by the puck. So, I mean, Slark dying there is really big considering he's the most...
yeah.
Or he was the most farmed hero on the Radiant, but... Visage now taking that spot. I mean, Wraith King's about 2/3 to his Relic. I think he can just farm the jungle at this point, but... trying to kill Sand King.
Just crit Sand King and almost 2-shot him.
I mean, does have the Talon, so very... not great farm, but decent farm.
He does feel comfortable coming back to lane and farming the jungle in between, so I think that's the right play. Keeps pressure on the top tower, at least.
I mean, Radiant at this point has 2 heroes recovering. And Sand King using up the 3rd part of the wood, so...
they really need to take this bot tower, though, on the Dire, I think. I think it just, like, constricts their map by too much.
Yeah, anytime you have a... you have to force this Slark to just go jungle to get his defusal. He shouldn't feel comfortable coming back to lane.
Oh, and he spears too early, so the Mars might be dead bot.
I don't think he's dead, but... yeah, it's a super hard commit. I mean, Mars could have killed him if he hit that spear into like an arena or something.
Oh, and that's the second Dami summon creep that Dark's got in the last like 2 minutes. And he has Blink Dagger ready now.
Yeah, it's a lot of gold for those Helm creeps. It's what, 200?
200, yeah. It looks like they're trying to set up a play on Dark, but I don't know how they're going to get one off. Like even blink into Static Storm isn't certain if he refractions and blinks out.
Wraith King gonna go down. Just one life. Are they gonna epicenter for it? Looks like they will. I don't think he dies, even with the epi. It's at 1400 health. Grimshark has to be a bit careful being in the sandstorm, but nice jaunt from Puck away.
Ooh. Yeah, very nice over
That's
the
the
trees.
TP or he's dead, so... Oh, well, maybe not there. I don't know how he saw him there.
The Wraith King game vision on the other side.
I know Wraith King had that much vision. I guess Puck wasn't like fully in the tree line.
No. And that side's not protected at all, like vision-wise. The Sand King is now bot defending the tower, which I think is nice, but they're not really pressuring it, so I think it's just
I mean, the issue is that they have both cores there. Like, if you're Sand King, you really never want to be in the same lane as your Slark unless you're fighting.
Yeah.
Because, like, Sand King should be in, like, one lane pushing it out, Slark should be in the other one, and TA should just be, like, farming the jungle. Or not TA, Visage.
TA's eyeballing out bot lane.
She has the blink. Does get caught by the Sand King,
nice
but
stun by Sand King.
she did have refraction up, so able to blink after.
The Slark just shadow dances away. The Sand King could go down here.
He doesn't have mana for 2, but...
Ooh, not soon enough. I think they should take bot tower now. This is...
I mean, they kind of have to.
Pressure.
Like, there's no way they
but
can
they're
just...
killing Wraith King top.
That's
They
a bit
TP for that.
far up,
And
but
the tower goes down, so... I think that's alright.
he does
They
have...
get bot off this.
He does have Relic on Wraith King, though, which is nice.
Yeah. I think this Wraith King's doing, like, well enough this game.
I mean, if he gets Radiance at 18, even 19 wouldn't be the worst. Like, as long as he's having forward progression. Essence Ring found on Radiant, so Slark even more unkillable in some fights. That item's just bonkers sometimes.
Oh, this TA's in. Oh, and blinks back. And the Lich bounces are going out.
It's a huge fight. Slark,
This TA is just standing in the middle and auto-attacking and everyone's dying.
yeah, Slark probably gonna live off this, but...
Oh, the glimpse. The blink from the glimpse was just a little bit too early.
Yeah, 3 heroes dead on Radiant, just 1 Lich on Dire. Wraith King not really getting anything off that himself, but able to clean up the fight a little bit.
Now they're just gonna do rush. I think they're gonna do this thing pretty quick.
Oh yeah, they have... Even though TA not technically a melee hero, they still have Mars with the full Vlad's coming out now too. Oh, it's just hard for this Radiant team to coordinate team fights with...
Like that. Yeah.
Like, Slark has Diffusal now, but...
Like the last fight, there were so many spells on the TA. I think almost all of them hit the TA, but like even without BKB or anything, like they couldn't bring her down. They had Static Storm, they had the Puck Link. The Visage Birds were there, but she just sat there auto-attacking.
They have Blink on Sand King. They have 3 cores above 110 last hits pretty much, but TA has 200. I mean,
the doubling the net worth of the next core.
The entire net worth is literally on TA.
Yeah, I think if TA dies poorly here, there's a chance they can come back, but...
Well, I mean, she has Aegis and BKB.
The Mars is going to be here pretty quick. Doesn't have Blink yet, though, so Slark's just going to run away.
The issue is that, like, even if Radiant tries to stall up the TA, they'll still have to deal with the super farmed Wraith King later on. Like, this TA time is going to match up with the Visage timing, and so it's... Even if Radiant holds off TA, they're still going to have to deal with Wraith King against Slark. Which isn't bad for Slark, but it just puts a lot of pressure on him.
I think it's like go time right now for the Dire team. I think they got the Radiance, they got the TA. I think they can just like run down.
Yeah, they have Vampire Fangs Wraith King as well. They can just take all the tier 2s with the Aegis if they want to.
TA is BKB as well. This is a big TA.
And Milliard just gets knocked into next week.
TA is nearly keeping up with 1 level per minute.
Puck getting gone on middle. Not
Silence.
attacking the Phantom. Takes 3 hits at this point.
I think if they keep getting pulled around the map like this though, because right now, even though the Dire's ahead, they're still on their half of the map most of the time. So I think if they keep this these lanes pushed out on Radiant, they have a good chance of lasting longer. Because even though they're ahead, 3 heroes on the Dire are on their side of the river. And they have Aegis, BKB, TA. Yeah, it looks like they're just gonna run down bot. I think this is really good for the Dire. I don't think the Radiant can do anything here. Oh, the Slark nearly gets one shot by the TA.
Smoke up by the Dire.
Yeah, I think this type of play where the Radiant are all over the map and the Dire just keep running back and forth. I think that's good. That's what they need to do right now because they can't fight this TA head on.
What did the Mars just ult?
The Puck.
Oh, he blinked away.
Looks like they're content just farming, but I think this is gonna kind of diminish the advantage that TA has as the Radiant cores get a couple more items to catch back up.
I mean, they needed to take just the other 2 towers, I think. I don't think that they could lose a fight trying to do that unless they just dive too far. Like, if you're Radiant, if you try to defend either of those towers, you're just gonna die. Aegis down.
That was a sort of an unused Aegis, I think.
I mean, they got 1 tier 2, but I think now Radiant can actually look for a fight.
They do have the AC done on Visage too, which helps a lot with the TA's damage.
Yeah, Visage can't get bursted anymore. Which, I mean, it's only 1 hero, but still. The fewer heroes that can get burst by TA means fewer targets she has.
Everything's just farming away. Has Halberd finished now? I think that's a pretty good item.
I mean, it gives him evasion against...
And Slark just finished BKB. I think this is a decent for... Oh! Chaining stun? Oh, not quite.
Lich is just going down here.
Yeah.
And Mars gets glimpsed back. This is super bad for the Dire team. Like, they get the Chain Frost off, but it doesn't really do anything. They're gonna maybe lose Grimstroke off here as well.
Oh, the TP out.
Doesn't
Huge.
get He used the wrong binding. He used the Hellbear Clap instead of the birds. Because the birds would have killed him with stone form, but
Yeah.
he used the clap on accident.
I think they need Wraith King to participate in these fights now. Oh my god.
I did not expect that to happen, but it did. And Wraith King...
Sees the Wraith King, or the Sand King. Gets stunned up.
Wraith King getting on top a little bit, but... almost saving Sand King. Wraith King not dying either.
I think they gotta just go on the Dire team. I don't think running back and forth across the map does much for them. Like they can just take towers, I think. This TA is gigantic. But they run back and forth chasing for Slark in bot and then Puck in top and back and forth. They might just be waiting for Wraith King to finish his basher or something, but ooh, they smoke up. Looks like they're looking for something, but they're looking in the wrong place.
I mean, they're looking in a lane that they already have the tier 2 in. There's nowhere to really wrap around, because if Radiant's probably not going to be there. And they might get... They might... They see the Sand King.
Oh my god.
Prince's Knife. Or not Prince's Knife, Mindbreaker.
Yeah.
Just hard for the Puck, because he doesn't have any defensive items.
They do have a repair kit on the Sand King, so that is going to make it a little difficult to push some of these towers.
I mean, they have a lot of deep push too, but at the same time, Dire has very good push. And Roche is up 15 seconds, so probably the next objective for the Dire team. Checking on other games real quick, see what's happening.
I think Logical lost to Econ game 1.
Yeah. Acid Rain versus Corn Dog series going to a game 3.
Do you know what happened with Alaris Matui game 1?
Says it's still going on.
I don't think that's game 1, is it? I don't know when they started actually. I thought they... Oh, at
Yeah.
9, so yeah.
That's game 1. Meanwhile, Dark does the same thing again.
Blows up.
This Grimstroke is just dead.
Oh, this Visage is...
Oh, or not. They get the Slark pin.
Slark gets
He doesn't
done
have-
without BKB.
I mean, he's in ult, but it does just use the ult. Big ult. Mars going down. Puck does buy back. Wraith King is angling to the fight, but triple kill by both mid laners. Dark
This
getting
Visage
slowed up.
got
Dark
to sit and melt.
Dark does have his BKB, but does get stunned and blown up. Very good by Milliard.
There's a lot of money too, going the way of the Visage.
And Wraith King's just walking into the fight.
And Slark's still there, so they can definitely kill him twice.
They get the bird stun, he's dead, yep. He's dead twice here. I don't know, Dyer could have just taken Roche, I feel, but... Oh, he might not be dead. Yeah, he gets healed up a bit.
That's a low HP Visage.
Actually, yeah, he is dead. He tried to go back on the Slark. Very unfortunate. This Mars just can't have an end to these fights because he's trying to jump the Slark. Like, he can't kill the Slark in the arena, even if he pins him. Like, he has to try to pin a puck or a disruptor or something and just create chaos, I feel.
Now the Radiant's gonna be getting the Roche.
I feel like this TA is 1 or 2 deaths away from the game just being over. Probably 1.
Yeah, they just need to take a good fight with all their people, I think. The buyback by the puck was pretty big that last fight.
For my coffers.
Yeah, I think this next fight is kind of going to determine the victor of the game.
Yeah, Mino team won their game 2. So that's going to a game 3 as well.
I hope it goes to game 3.
I mean, if the 1C gets 2-0, then it would be EST Sunday. Feels bad, man. I mean, the EST Monday from last season got to the finals, and the season before that they won, so... This is a weird spot for Dyer.
Oh, this could be big.
That's very unfortunate for the puck. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's level 25 TA. That puck killed his Visage. Oh, that's he's
That
so
was a really good spear. I think they just need to take racks like right
that
now.
was almost a very bad spear.
Oh, and Sand King's pushing out mid, that's huge.
If he
That's gonna
didn't
delay them by so much.
if he didn't connect that spear, it would have been very bad.
Yeah.
Because I've done that before, and it feels really bad when you do a spear to kill a hero, and you help him instead of kill him.
Oh, I thought he was gonna go for the next wave too.
No, he knows with the Prince's Knife. Even with Lotus Orb, it's really rough. It's DDTA.
Yeah, they still don't have the creeps though, so
I mean, they don't really
delayed their
care about
push
the
by so
T2.
much. They can just do it through backdoor.
Like, the creeps are
Oh.
coming for the tier 3, so... Decent spear try. They maybe could have caught the Mars with the coil by the tier 4s. But I think he's still fine. This Wraith King really needs to tank the tower if he's going to, though, yeah. Like, there's no reason a Mars should be tanking the tower hits when they have TA Wraith King.
That is unfortunate they didn't manage to get the tower out of that.
And they got 2 charges of their repair kit. 1 only? Wow. That's actually insane. Wait, it's only 3 charges, right? I think it's only 3 for the repair kit.
It is, yeah.
I mean, they only got 1, but it's still something, I mean. Puck had to give his life for it, but... Yeah, Wraith King choosing to go AC instead of just finishing up the Abyssal. Or maybe he just has the value Piper Stone.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think either way, it doesn't particularly matter what he goes, he just needs to be in the fights.
I mean, his TA is slotted, his Mars has a halberd, but...
Yeah. I feel like he can just run down, hit towers, and let the TA do work behind him. They smoke up again, so I think that's... They're looking for game-ending play. Who do they see? The Sand King? Not enough.
I mean, they see the
Looks like
Slark.
they're
They
looking for the Slark.
might force this BKB out.
Oh,
Oh,
they might just kill him.
yeah, that's a very fortunate crit.
That was a really big play by Dark there.
Is that a double crit or just a single? 'Cause I know we got the one at the end, but... I mean, even 16 armor... It's not a lot against Mel Deso.
He's 40 short from buyback too.
Oh,
right
they
now.
get the bash on the puck. Oh, they didn't take advantage of it. Oh, but it doesn't matter.
And they pull the Visage back too. That's huge if they get this kill.
It was a weird chain for us, but it should be 2 lanes, maybe 3 if they know about
Yeah.
the Visage. I mean, they could end the game if they knew the Visage didn't have buyback, but probably
Slark's still
just...
10 short from buyback. We'll see if he uses it.
I mean, if Visage doesn't have it, then you maybe use it to try to see if they'll do it, but at this point, maybe not. I mean, if you're Dire, you don't stop unless you see buybacks.
Yep, it's looking like game 3. Oh, Dark all chatting.
Wow.
I'm guessing he was saying you're all terrible because none of them saved for buyback, but
I mean, I think he's saying you're all terrible because he's beating, like, he's beating a team that talk trash.
sorry, that was my sister. Huh? And game 3 it will be.
I mean, I said there was 1 or 2 TA deaths away from the game ending, but he didn't die, so...
Yep, you're still correct.
I don't know, I feel like Radiant just never had a timing, really.
No. They're kind of just like...
It's like Visage wants to be
Go
like
back to
this super snowbally hero, but then Slark needs time. And even Puck 4 kind of needs a little bit of time, because you can't just like... Because you can't really do anything except coil in fights, until you get a little bit of farm. Anyways, I guess we'll be back for game 3.
second pick.
Well, it's good for one team. You see, Pischa lost their first game.
Yeah, I saw that.
They gave up Itachi as a stand-in.
Yeah, I saw him in the lobby, and I was like,
Don't
what?
know why. Isn't their normal mid only like Divine 3?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, like they have him stand in, and then or I guess he's standing in for Huntington, and then Mitterchen's standing in for Offlane to Immortal.
I don't know how you need stand-ins for these games because they're scheduled. I don't get it.
I have no idea. I mean, I can see one stand-in, but even two is kind of pushing it.
10초 남았습니다. 5초 남았습니다. 레디언트 진영은 영웅을 선택할 차례입니다. 다이아 진영은 영웅을 선택할
I open with the Grim again.
That's 3 for 3.
Expected.
영웅을 선택할
Yakiro.
Yakiro.
Did we see a Sand King?
영웅을 선택할
Oh, they go with the clockwork again.
Wow. The clock did do a lot of work last game. Way more than the puck did.
남았습니다. 5초 남았습니다. 레디언트 진영이 금지 영웅을
Well, Lich banned, so they go for the Ogre instead with the Grim.
금지 영웅을 선택할 차례입니다. 다이아 진영이 영웅을
I think,
선택할 차례입니다.
The Lich ban is. I don't know if it's worth or not. I think it's not like the end all be all. I think that combo is like more hype than it actually delivers.
Well, Lich Grim?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like an RD2L like,
레디언트 진영이
can definitely be fine.
And the Sand King. I think this is stronger with the clock than the Centaur was.
I mean, even Sand King, Clockwork, and Lane, just Caustic plus Battery Assault.
5초 남았습니다.
There's an insane game right now with Alaris Matui.
Who's casting it? A Ponzus?
Yeah, it's an hour in right now.
Oh, it's that game one.
The entire Matui team bought back, and almost all of them died.
라디오 진영이 영웅을 선택한
This Materia team's definitely very volatile.
And Weaver, I like this Weaver pick. I don't think it's like
I don't like it.
actually. Yeah, I was like, I saw just the Weaver, and I was like, I like it
I
uh, for
think
Space
this
D
Weaver's
because
just gonna
it's
have
like a
50
strong
deaths.
laner. But against Clockwork and Sand King, I don't think it's very good at all.
Even Jakiro is really good against Weaver.
Yeah,
Like, I know, obviously Jakiro takes a lot to cast his spells, but it's really hard for Weaver to solo kill him. Because Weaver doesn't
Mhm.
have any sort of way to prevent a TP. And then even Jakiro just... If you hit one ice path, he's just stuck there for a while.
yeah. I liked the Weaver pick in itself, and then when I looked down and saw Clockwork Sand King, I'm like, wait, actually, I don't like it that much anymore.
Oh, they're picking up tier 5 items on Matt team. They got Mirror Shield and
Yeah.
Woodland Striders. That's big.
Like Mirror Shield is nutty.
레디언트 진영이 영웅을 선택한
Baseless Void. Another... I don't know. The thing about the Weaver is that I also really, really dislike it where they picked it.
Okay, the Wraith King again.
It's an offline Weaver.
I'm intrigued.
I mean, I guess,
레디언트 진영
but
금지 영웅을
I don't know
선택하지
why.
않는다.
I definitely don't like it.
Yeah,
I might not dislike it, but I don't like it. Because, I mean,
I think it's the right style of hero. It's just not for
you
this
could have
game.
just picked Wraith King. I don't know why you have to go, like, this Weaver... Oh, it's a carry. Never mind, it's a pause 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what that really does.
레디언트 진영이 영웅을 선택할 차례입니다.
He doesn't have like a clean target to just kill.
(10초) 남았습니다.
Like, I think pause 3 Weaver Ags at a decent timing could be decent, but
It's very reliant on how good the person playing it is, and I don't. Ember.
I mean, if you're going pick 21, you gotta pick a hero that isn't gonna get super countered. I mean, Huskar's out of the pool, TA's out of the pool. It's
Yeah.
really only like Monkey, I think.
Could play around that.
And even then, Monkey, early levels, Dark can just get such a huge advantage, especially if the Monkey player doesn't play Monkey a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure Eli will, like, play some other hero that does well. Brood isn't banned. Do you think he'll just brood him?
I don't know.
Like,
I think it's an alright brood game.
I think if he thinks it's a good brood game, he's gonna pick brood here.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on if he thinks it's a good brood game. I mean, we'll see. They have 40 seconds. I'm sure his team might be trying to talk him out of it, but if he thinks it's good, he's gonna pick it. I don't think it's good against Ember right now, but I think if he's good enough, he just doesn't care.
Yeah, you can kind of just dodge the Ember matchup and just get huge.
I mean, I'm sure that's what they're afraid of, is that, like, we can't really put him in a side lane, but I go with the Alchemist instead.
선택하십시오.
Another, not necessarily cheese type hero, but I feel like Alchemist can get run over in this game, actually.
Yeah, I think the Alk is a little bit risky just because you do have a faceless.
Especially if Ember goes like this physical damage build before Alk has any armor items. Like, Sleight of Fist doesn't care about Radiance at all.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, if Wraith King can get a similar timing on Radiance, not necessarily like... Obviously, Alk's probably going to get one like 12 minutes. If Wraith King can get one at 16, then you can really limit that. But I mean, we'll see.
Interesting to note that You Should Be has a lot of Weaver cosmetics, so I think that's a good sign and alleviates some of my worries about the Weaver pick.
What, he could just be a whale, dude. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
I mean, all those
but
are
it
like
alleviates
TI
some of my
immortals,
worries.
right?
It alleviates some of my worries, okay?
I think Ogre Weaver is a really strong lane if they choose to do that. I don't think they will, but I don't really like Grimstroke E into Weaver personally, but it's fine. I'm just playing Animal Crossing while watching anyways.
How is that game?
That's really good. I mean, it's super hard to get a Switch nowadays because of the issues, but I don't know. It might win Game of the Year just because so many people are playing it because they have nothing else to do.
That's true.
I'm sure people will say the same thing about Doom Eternal or Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I don't know. Especially with like the social distancing, this sort of game brings people together. I mean,
전투를 준비하십시오.
Looks like they are running the Ogre Wraith King. I feel like that's okay.
I'm not a fan. I'd rather have Ogre Grim, probably. I mean, or Ogre Grim, Ogre Weaver, and Wraith King Grim, but I guess Ogre can deal with the
I think this is
harassment
better.
more.
Yeah.
I think
It's
he's
gonna be a lot
still.
harder for the clock to kill the Ogre.
I mean, I guess. I might just be hero preference, but
Inkswell Sakuchi is pretty nice.
I feel like in lane Inkswell is only really good if you have a stun to throw on top of it, but
Yeah. I think it's nice with Sakuchi because you can be sure it's gonna land on them
30초 후
and you get like a big duration out of it.
anyways, we have Sebastian on the pause for Grim going top with You Should Be on the Weaver, Dark on the middle, Ember Spirit, Space Dude on the Wraith King, and Al Capone getting run down by the Clockwork. In the dire team, we have Java on the Void, Milliard on his signature Sand King yet again, Eli on the Alchemist,
시작됩니다.
Vuvu on the Clockwork, and Blackout on the Jakiro. Looks like they got 3 runes on the Dire.
Yeah, it's the third game in a row where Java just walks up and tries to take it.
Does Dark not go for it? Does he go for the block instead?
He goes for it. He just got a click there, I think. Very interested to see how this mid game goes. Mid lane goes.
I mean, it's a 22 pick Alk, so...
Yeah.
I mean, he's still 0-0, so we'll see.
다이어의
Does get the range creep, very nice. And so far, Radiant's doing super well in their lanes.
레디언트의 짐꾼이 죽었습니다.
Ooh, this Jakira's getting real low. Again with this 6 mangoes. I don't know how much I like it, but I think on Jakiro it's sort of alright because if you just spam dual breath, you could just win the lane off that.
I mean, I don't know. It's not a spell like a Disruptor Q or a Lich Q to where you need to just spam it a bunch, but... Alright, I just saw BMTS die to the fountain. He had buyback, but still. Not too sure about that one. Ogre is just putting a smackdown. I don't like this Ogre Windlace, but I guess it helps him get away from the clock a little bit.
Yeah, I think if the Ogre's sitting here beating down the clock, then it makes the clock pick a lot less strong because
I think
it's
Ogre,
hard for the clock to go anywhere.
I think Ogre Arcana should just give Ogre plus 20 move speed because he's mounted.
Cosmetic for the win.
Yeah, Alk is 2-1 against 9-9, so...
Dark's styling on him right now.
Yeah, Matt team ended up... They won despite being down 12k gold at the end. Very cool.
And none of them having buybacks, I believe.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Sven hero, honestly.
Oh, it's going real close mid.
Dark's got it.
Nice.
He had the Fairy Fire.
Is he gonna deny the tower? Nope.
He's probably
He's
just gonna bring
staying.
out a salve.
레디언트의 3부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
They killed the
He's just
Grimstroke.
gonna go up. Oh, and
Jakira's
I
gonna
think-
die.
Jakira's going down here. Yeah.
I mean, I like Weaver as a lane against Void just because you do a lot of like just overall damage and you can't really ever get hit by Void. It's a big thing laning these melee offlaners against Void. You'll always take a couple unnecessary shots just because he goes for these bashes and if he gets some, it feels super rough, but Weaver not having to deal with that, even with Jakiro. It's like as a melee offlaner, if you lane like against Jakiro, Void, or Lich Void, you're always going to take a couple extra hits from the Void. Just because you're slowed and he's just running at you. But looks like they're choosing just to go for a Grimstroke in this situation. Maybe a bit too far up, but...
The Wraith King's having a pretty good time in the bot lane too.
I mean, they didn't... I don't know why this Clockwork isn't pulling the big camp more.
I think it's because the Ogre's just manning up on the clock and not getting the right amount of space.
Possibly. I think picking the clock as just like the Wraith King counter was pretty good. Or not Wraith King counter, just like the clock counter for like the Ogre as the clock counter, I should say.
받고 있습니다.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he's out leveling him, like this Ogre's still at no risk of going down here. Sand King does get the big camp, but if you're Wraith King, you're pretty fine with that. Like, I think Wraith King laning against dual melee is pretty solid. They get the Grimstroke, does get the Bounty Rune for his Alchemist. I mean,
And Alk goes down mid again. He
Yeah.
used all his remnants though, so he can't TP back to base to regen.
nice triple remnant play though. And they got 3 bounties, so overall the gold is still fine for Dire, but XP wise, probably not looking the best.
Yeah, this Ogre just tanked the entire battery, level 3 battery assault. Sorry, second level of battery assault. And kind of just walked it off.
I mean, yeah, there's really not much. Like, you can try to kill him, but at the same time, it's not easy considering this. Oh, he definitely has mangoes.
He got mangoes. Oh boy, do he got mango. Yog's gonna be able to farm up. He's got the mud golem camps, which is really nice for Alk.
I mean, he has the full phase working towards the Radiance, but just behind 2 levels at this point. Be interesting to see what Dark goes. He's queued up the Spirit Vessel.
We might go top with this invis.
죽었습니다.
Maybe he can catch out the Void with it.
Void's pretty much under tower the whole time.
Yeah, there's no point at that.
Oh, and they get the Sand King bot. They might get both.
Yeah, he gets the ult
That's
on Wraith
big.
King though.
That's really big.
It's the second time that's happened because that was game 2 as well.
다이어의 구조물이 강화되었습니다.
Wraith King has the treads going towards his Radiance as well.
공격받고 있습니다.
I mean, overall, this Radiant team is doing really well in the lanes.
Yog's gonna start catching back up, doing these stacks. They don't have any hero that can like
Disrupt
chase
it.
down and mess with the Alk.
다이어의 중
Like, Grim would probably be the closest they would get, but even then, it's not the easiest task. Like, you might be able to snipe a couple creeps at most.
Looks like he's gonna go for another kill here.
Doesn't have Chemical Rage for 10, looks like it's free kill. Goes
Yeah,
to
I
Dark
think that's
as well.
really good. Keeping the Alk down is really important here.
Yeah, I'll pretty much can't show if he doesn't have Chemical Rage up.
I think it's also pretty free for the Grim to be leaving the Weaver alone because it is a
되었습니다.
Weaver after all.
I'm not sure why Alk just isn't sitting in the woods, because like you said, there really isn't anybody to contest him, but maybe just getting a little bit greedy trying to get the lane farm and the jungle farm.
Looks like they're leaving this bot tower again. I'm not sure I like this. I hope the Wraith King goes back into lane and keeps it pushed out.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Chrono on top, but Ember's rotating,
the-
killing both.
Big Ember.
I don't mind this bottom tower going down as much if they're doing things in other lanes.
Yeah. I think it would be worth it if things like this are happening.
Issue is if, obviously, like, there wouldn't be, but they do bring 2 heroes bottom, so clock is going down. That's a kill on the Wraith King.
공격받고 있습니다.
Halfway to his relic already.
All their players are showing up this game. Making plays all over the place.
Well, Dark has RD2L champions, dude. They show up in big games.
They don't crumble under the pressure.
다이어의 중국 포탑이
Alchemist is as far to the Radiance as Wraith King is.
I mean, that Bloodlust feels super good if you're out.
Sorry, what does?
The Bloodlust.
Yeah. Oh, and they capped the bot just in time,
다이어의
so they're gonna get both outposts.
공격받고 있습니다.
Nice, nice. Weaver just free
Oh,
kill on Jakiro as well. I said Weaver probably shouldn't be able to kill Jakiro, but
We were wrong.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고
I
있습니다.
think Jakiro was wrong, not me. They get 3 bounties off of it too. So even a little bit more of a lead. Chasing down Clockwork, like Dark's just being this super aggressive player, just taking over the game pretty much. Like he has the most last hits and 6 kills. Like
Yeah.
this is I am not screwing around Dark, which is very scary. Especially because he has the vessel completed.
Yeah. He's gonna be able to kill the Alk now whenever he wants.
Or the Void. Like, he can solo kill the Void. I mean, this Jakiro is just gonna get run down.
Ooh, dodges the stun. Very fancy.
공격받고 있습니다.
He had the arcane out, so that was pretty free. I think he's gonna go run and look for the Alc now.
Like, he's doing that. Wraith King just has a pretty much a free time. I don't know why he's not hitting the creeps on the tower, but
다이어의 중국 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
I think this kill might be too hard. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like they really needed to sack that against a solo Sand King, but... Oh no, Jakiro! He just spawned, Dark! He just spawned! He just spawned, don't do him like that.
Oh, they get the Ogre bot, and they're running after the Wraith King. He still has Reincarnate.
They get the
Oh, and they get the
Void
top
kill. I guess they get the
They didn't
Phantom.
really dark for that.
I don't know, that's just not a good look for Void.
Your failure lives
Yeah,
I can
think
understand if he gets caught. It's like, oh, Ember chains him, he vessels him, but...
공격받고 있습니다.
Well,
The,
BM all... Oh, BM all chat.
Phantom Embrace I overlooked too when I was considering Grim laning top.
공격받고 있습니다.
I mean, Void attack's pretty fast, but yeah, if it's instant, then...
Yeah.
I mean, it's more just Grim being good against Void the whole game, because
They're
even
gonna
when
look for
you're...
Flying
If you're
Weaver.
solo... Even if you're solo soulbound, you still can't time walk. Because you're rooted, right? Or you're leashed.
Yep.
Even if you're leashed to yourself. Oh, catches him with the hook. Weaver has time-lapse mana. Should be able to get out of here, so...
He's just running around with them. They're kind of looking at the Alc. I don't think they have
This
the kill, though.
Grimstroke's gonna die. They're gonna get Sand King, though. Ogre, chain stun. Yep.
yet your
Is Weaver dying?
lives on.
Nope. Weaver's pretty live. Void would have to Chrono for it. Or he used Chrono.
He used Chrono and didn't get the kill off.
On the Grim? Or did he try to kill the Weaver with it?
I think both. And
I was looking
didn't
middle.
finish off the Weaver.
It's pretty
This Alc
unfortunate.
is coming back into the game though.
다이어의 중국 포탑이 공격받고
I mean, he has the relic almost to Radiance, but does get caught with the chains. Wraith King, meanwhile, has the relic of his own as well. Salka's just gonna go down unless he can get his ult off somehow. Oh, Sand King hits with the burrow. Definitely gives him a little bit more time. Gets the Grimstroke kill, but Sand King might go down here as well. They have the vessel back up. One more slight. He's gonna tick out.
It's just a kill fest.
So they
I
get
love
the
it.
Grimstroke, but they lose 2 cores in the process. Meanwhile, Wraith King might actually finish his Radiance first. That is
That'd be
insane.
Very unfortunate. No, I think the Alex still got it, but it's gonna be a minute away.
And Clockwork is just here. Because here.
Lives on.
Meanwhile, Weaver in the top lane is just farming. Almost has a defusal.
I think their way back into the game is to find a kill on Dark and get that gold on one of their cores.
I mean, they can kill him still. They have
They have the
Void.
tools.
Like, as long
just
as
need to
the
use
team
them
has
a lot.
Faceless Void, they do have the possibility, but...
Yeah. I think the next Chrono should be on Dark, and they need to then put all the rest of the things on him as well. I think if he keeps getting to like run around the map like this for free, just killing with no fear.
파괴되었습니다.
If he gets to like Deso BKB territory without getting touched, then the game's just over. Like, he's on a Beyond Godlike. They can't... Like, this outkill's gonna take a while, but there's no TPs coming for him. Like, imagine if there's one hero there and Dark dies.
Yeah.
They're
I
kind
think
of
they
just
have one more
leaving
there,
their
they
out.
could've turned that.
I don't understand. Like,
Oh,
it's... They
the
get
silence.
Like, they get the hook, but it's just late. Like, that's a good play, it's just late. Like, if he does that while the Alk's getting gone on, they kill Ember Spirit.
상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
He doesn't have a stick on Ember, like, he's just gonna die.
Yeah.
But instead, like, this Grimstroke's just walking up high ground with no
Oh,
vision.
the silence on the Void.
Alright, this
Oh, that
Void,
was huge.
Void just walks up high ground with no vision. Like, Dire's just crumbling at this point. Just getting run down. This game is way too fast for them.
Yeah.
Like, it's 25-6, and it's not letting up.
공격받고 있습니다. 다이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다. 다이어의
The Alka has Radiance.
파괴되었습니다.
The Grim has Radiance. Or the Wraith King has Radiance.
I'm not... I mean, they're pretty much even net worths, which is insane. I don't like Void Alchemist at all, honestly.
It's just a little bit too slow, I think.
I mean, it's slow, and the heroes don't coordinate well at all. Like, you don't throw anything besides a concoction into the Chrono either.
Mm-hmm. Ember's finished up the Dezo and is going for BKB now. I think that's like a really...
Yeah, if he gets BKB before he dies, the game's over.
다이어의
Yeah.
상부 포탑이
Like, they have to kill him before this BKB timing. I don't know how, but... Chihiro's dying. Sand King's dying. They might... Or Void's getting gone on too. Void can't even do anything against just this Ogre. They do get the Grimstroke in the backline, but... One Dust
Yes,
and Sand King's
noticed.
dead.
On the Sand King. That'll be a good item to help secure the
Yeah.
safety of his cores.
Yeah, they kind of needed the Lotus Rush. They Chrono, but
Oh,
the Weaver avoids it. We're gonna see any all chat?
we're gonna see something.
Nah, I think Dark's just worried about the game for now.
A feast for my beetles.
But
That
that's
was a bit rough.
super
I'm always scared
unfortunate.
trying to Chrono Weaver because...
How do I tip without plus?
there's
Thank
the
you,
all
Al
chat.
Capone.
다이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Be rich.
다이어의 상부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
Wow. Imagine all chatting after you whiff a chrono like that.
Yeah, well,
Like, I mean, I don't think any highly of him, more highly of him after that, but you gotta give him some props. Most players, they miss a chrono, they're not saying anything. At least he's consistent.
he's found the Alk again.
I mean, they got the Lotus, it just doesn't matter. This
Yeah.
Alk has,
This is...
I mean, he has plate mail, but even then, this game is going from bad to very bad very quickly.
There's two godlike cores.
Like this Wraith King hero, and I mean this Weaver hero apparently too.
Yeah. I knew Weaver was strong. I think this guy's pretty comfortable on the hero. He's playing it pretty well.
I mean he's Platinum Weaver.
Yeah, he laned it like very well, I think, against the Faceless Void, even though it's not necessarily a good matchup for him.
It's kind of crazy. They picked Void as a Weaver counter, but Offlame Weaver is a Void counter. If that makes any sense.
It kind of makes sense, yes.
Because I mean, obviously if you're Care Weaver, if you get chronoed, you're gonna die. But if you're Offlane Weaver, not only are you lower kill priority, but you can also eventually get an Ags if you're going for it.
And you can put a lot of pressure on him in lane.
Yeah, and laning is
gives
Void
very
against
little
Weaver
opportunity
feels
for-
really bad. I mean, Void against really any ranged ranged heroes just feels a bit bad sometimes. Like I know Furin against Void is pretty Furon favored for a while, unless he just has like some support that's super good.
Oh, and this Alk is a little far forward.
He's just gonna die. Dire's just not getting kills. Like this Grimstroke has 5 of Radiant's 7 deaths.
And he's landed some really good silences this game that secured a lot of kills.
Yeah, definitely.
And that
Like,
whole-
are we actually
whole
going to
time-
see none of Radiant's cores die at all this game? It's possible.
Yeah, the whole time Dark was playing mid, fighting them on mid, the Wraith King was just hitting ranks.
Yeah, the Wraith King's hitting racks, Weaver's hitting racks, like it's
다이어의 중
nice, nice. He has the voice line.
The level 1 voice line. Ooh, gets the walk off just in time. Oh my.
I mean, at
Who is
least
this
he's up.
man?
At least he's, what's it called?
I'm surprised the Wraith King turned around there. The Wraith King could just run in.
He's just being a little bit safe.
They call GG.
Well, it looked pretty bad after game 1, but
Get the fuck out of my game. Yikes.
oh, that's funny.
They
Yeah, I
canceled
don't know.
the GG?
I don't know.
Okay, there it is.
If I'm Dire, Dark is one of the few players in RD2L that I would never want to trash talk ever. Not only is he a 2-time RD2L champion, but he is also very good at Dota 2. And
He's also pretty chill.
the best way to beat Dark is to keep him chill. Make Dark think, well, it's just RD2L. I'm playing with some 3K teammates that are losing their lanes. It's whatever. That is the way to beat Dark. You do not beat Dark by taunting him and all-chatting him. Because that makes Dark play like actual Dark. And you do not want to play against actual Dark, even in RD2L. Especially if you're like a 4K Faceless Void player. But anyways, that is that series. Probably gonna host Brightside or something, or whoever's streaming, and go up to that channel. So thanks for watching.